What I found is attacking the arm bars, there's many arm bar attacks that you have in the guard, but people just got wiser and smarter and they learn how to posture and keep their elbows back. So you have to be a lot trickier with your attacks in the guard. So most of the time you have to off balance somebody, which is called the kazushi. You off balance them as they're falling, you attack or snap on the arm, or you have a compound attack. A compound attack where you're attacking in a triangle and then they posture and then you hit an arm bar like that, or you go for the straight arm bar and they pull it out and you go for the omoplata and then back to a triangle, or you go for the omoplata and then they start to defend and then you pull their arm and start to go for a chicken wing and then they straighten it out and you go back to an arm bar. So it was things like that because the guard, again, in the beginning, nobody hardly knew anything, so it was easy to snap an armbar on somebody or a triangle on somebody or an omoplata or a kimura, chicken wing. And what happened is people just started getting smarter and they started learning from just watching the UFC. And so they started being able to name all the moves and all the positions, and the game evolved so much that you just had to become trickier and have multiple attacks and setups to attack the arms. So I originally learned this armbar, the figure four armbar, from Shudo. But sometimes if a guy's good, he can start moving his arm a little so he can get out. So I figured out that when you're going for this lock and he straightens it out, you can still hit a straight armbar from here. So if I hit the V arm lock or the Americana and he straightens out his arm, you can still hit a figure four. If I'm going for the hammer lock, Kimura, double wrist lock, he straightens it out, you can hit a figure four from here. But I found from here, this just seems to be the strongest of all of them that finishes all the advanced people because it's so powerful around the arm, and that's just squeezing this arm around that elbow. Then you're turning this down. The key on this is the tightness right here. And then the second thing is the curl, the motorcycle grip curl, together. And I can do it here, I can do it here, I can do it here. So this lock is always on, and then the end you can crunch it. Because you're controlling the elbow, there's always gonna be a wrist lock. And if he just spazzes and just starts moving his arm around and I can't catch it, then I just start to go for a split and then go for a foot. So I was in Ireland teaching this lock here. And usually what happens is when you hit this lock here, they'll bring their foot under their butt and they'll bridge and power out of this like that. So look, this is when you're gonna go for this inverted toe. And what was happening is I was getting it and they're trying to kick free, but they couldn't, and their knee was going down a little bit, like that. So what I found is I would put my forearm here and I would step over their head and cover their whole body, and I'd push all my weight down without even pulling, and then I would pull. And you could just see the amount of torque that you get when all your body weight is on the forearm. If your body weight is not on the forearm, they can move and fudge their leg, but when you pin it, see, I haven't even put it on, it's really tight. And then you add the other hand and that's twice as hard. I named that lock the Twisted Sister because it's actually, there was a fighter in Japan, his name was Mishimi, and he used to always try to catch this on people. And I found that the sister move to this is when they try to straighten and they can't, so their knee goes down to try to fudge out of it. And then all your body weight would go here. And I found by stepping over, you could cover his whole body and then finish this here. So I called that the Twisted Sister.